I'm Staff Sergeant Pam Daniels, and this is a flute. The flute is one of the highest pitched instruments in the band. While it is a woodwind instrument, flutes are usually made of metal. This one is made of gold and silver. The sound is created by blowing across a small hole in the head joint here and pressing down these keys to change the notes. In a band, flutes often sit in the front and get to play many different styles of music, from beautiful, slow, lyrical melodies like you just heard to fast, technical showpieces.
Now, the other thing I love about the saxophone is its versatility. I can play in any type of band: a concert band, a marching band, an orchestra, a rock band, and of course, a jazz band. And that's the saxophone.
Hello, I am Staff Sergeant Kevin Paul, and this is the trumpet. The trumpet is a member of the brass family. Like all brass instruments, the trumpet uses a mouthpiece, and you play the trumpet by buzzing your lips into it. When you put the mouthpiece into the trumpet, it sounds like this. The trumpet is known for playing bugle calls and fanfares.
Hello, I'm Master Sergeant Aaron Cattermas, and this is the trombone. It has a cup-shaped mouthpiece, just like all the other brass instruments, and it sounds like this. When you put the mouthpiece back in the horn, the trombone sounds like this. The biggest difference between the trombone and all the other instruments is the slide. Here's a funny little tune that demonstrates the slide very well.
Hello, I'm Sergeant First Class Lauren Curran, and I play the euphonium. The euphonium might sound like a strange word, but it means beautiful sound. The euphonium is a low brass instrument, basically a smaller version of the tuba. It does indeed have a beautiful sound and can play gorgeous singing melodies, as well as powerful brassy music. Like the other brass instruments, you play by buzzing your lips into the mouthpiece. When the mouthpiece is attached to the instrument, that vibration goes through the euphonium and makes this sound. The euphonium can play lovely lyrical music.
I'm Staff Sergeant Andy Emmerich, and this is the snare drum. The snare drum is one of the primary non-pitched instruments of the percussion family. It's a type of membranophone, meaning you strike a membrane or a drum head to create the sound. The snare drum has two heads and a set of snares on the bottom. So here's the top head, the bottom, and the snares rung along the bottom head to create the characteristic sound. Although we don't play pitched notes on the snare drum like other instruments, we can use rolls, ornaments, and dynamics to create musical phrases. The bells, also called the glockenspiel, are an example from the pitched side of the percussion family. Plastic or metal-headed mallets are used to strike the steel bars. Here are two contrasting examples of what can be played on the bells.
Hi, my name is Jessica. This is my violin. I've been playing the violin for 20 years. I started when I was in the 3rd grade, and I started playing the violin because I saw a little boy my age playing on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and I wanted to play just like him. This is what it sounds like. Let's take a closer look at the violin. The violin is the smallest member of the strings family, but don't think that just because it's small, it's not powerful. My favorite part of the violin is the fingerboard because that's how I get to change the notes.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Albers. I'm the principal violist of the Minnesota Orchestra, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the viola. So the viola is a member of the string family. We are kind of the bridge between the violins and the cellos. So we're what's called one of the inner voices. So we're often playing, along with the second violins, we're playing the insides of the harmonies. So a lot of times you don't actually notice the viola unless you're listening for it, because our role, we're almost always in a supportive role. So that means that the violins or maybe one of the woodwinds is playing a beautiful melody, and we're actually supporting them and kind of making that melody more interesting by the harmonies that we play.
One of the things I like most about playing the cello is that I get to play with my friends. You know, ever since I was a kid, I've always felt like my music friends were the ones I really fit in with. Now's a great time to learn an instrument. Now, if you think you might want to play the cello, here are a few little things to keep in mind. First, it takes a long time to learn how to play the cello, or really any instrument, so you have to be really, really patient with yourself. Second, one of the nice things about the cello is that absolutely anybody can play it. It doesn't matter if you're tall or short, or how big your hands are, or if you're left-handed or right-handed. They make cellos in all different sizes, from really, really small all the way up to this size, which is the biggest size. Speaking of size, one other thing to keep in mind. If you are going to be bringing your cello back and forth to school, you can see it is quite large, so it can be a bit big to carry and bring on the school bus.